In the top stories, small craft advisory issued for St. Kitts and Nevis due to hazardous marine conditions. Trinidad Prime Minister and other public officials to receive salary increase this month, and Hamas says it will continue releasing Israeli hostages under Gaza deal. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Tuesday, the 13th of February 2025. I am Jasmine Thomas. The Antigua and Barbuda Meteorological Services has issued a small craft advisory for St. Kitts and Nevis, warning of hazardous marine conditions that are expected to affect local waters in the coming days. The advisory will remain in effect until midday on Saturday, 15th February. According to the Met Office, fresh to strong winds caused by a tight pressure gradient are generating hazardous sea conditions on the eastern and northern sides of the island. These conditions, which include dangerous wind, waves, and swells, pose a moderate threat to mariners' safety with the potential for significant impacts on life, property, and infrastructure. Winds over open waters are forecast to reach speeds of 14 to 23 knots or 16 to 26 miles per hour, with gusts potentially reaching up to 33 knots or 41 miles per hour. Sea heights are expected to range between 5 to 9 feet, with some waves reaching near 11 feet. Additionally, wind, waves, and swells of 7 to 8 feet are anticipated, with wave periods reaching from 6 to 9 seconds. The advisory outlines several potential risks, including loss of life at sea, injuries to mariners, capsizing or damage to vessels, and disruptions to local fisheries and marine transportation. Inexperienced mariners, particularly those operating smaller vessels, are strongly advised to avoid navigating in these conditions. Residents and mariners in St. Kitts and Nevis are urged to stay informed of the evolving situation. The public is advised to exercise caution and take all necessary precautions to ensure safety as the hazardous marine conditions persist. Energy ministers from the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States gathered in St. Kitts and Nevis to adopt the Bastille Declaration, setting the stage for a decade of sustainable energy development. The decision was made at the third Council of Ministers Energy meeting held on the 4th and 5th of February. The declaration establishes the OECS Decade of Action for Sustainable Energy Development from 2025 to 2035. The goal is to provide universal access to affordable, resilient, and reliable clean energy across all member states. This includes expanding renewable energy sources like solar, wind, geothermal, and green hydrogen. The initiative is expected to lower energy costs, create jobs, strengthen energy resilience, and boost economic growth. The OECS Commission will develop a roadmap to guide action and monitor progress throughout the decade. Ministers are calling on partners and investors to support the initiative, which they say is crucial for reducing dependency on imported fossil fuels and enhancing regional resilience. Education officials are looking forward to the rollout of the harmonized OECS primary school curriculum known as OECS Pearl, Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning. They recently participated in a mission organized by the OECS Commission, getting a first-hand look at the online hub that promises to transform primary education across the region. The digital platform offers teachers access to structured lesson plans, instructional resources, and assessment tools aligned with the harmonized curriculum. Locally, the Ministry of Education began piloting an enhanced curriculum in primary schools in 2020, starting with grades 2 and 6 pilots, have since expanded to all grade levels. Drawing on this experience, the ministry shared valuable insights with the OECS Pearl team. During the mission, ministry officials and local educators assessed the platform's readiness for full implementation Teachers and curriculum officers also explored how to integrate their system into daily classroom instruction. The OECS team met with the director of the Education Media Unit, Maria Crawford, to discuss using multimedia resources for the rollout. The OECS Pearl initiative aims to standardize curriculum content across member states while allowing for localized adaptations. It also provides professional development materials for educators and encourages resource sharing and collaboration among teachers across the region. On the regional scene, salaries for Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister and other public officials will see an increase starting February 2025, as outlined in a circular from the Comptroller of Accounts. This circular, issued on the 24th of January, directs permanent secretaries, heads of departments, and other public office holders to implement revised salary arrangements based on recommendations of the Salaries Review Commission, SRC. This adjustment follows the Ministry of Finance Circular Number 11, issued on December 23, 2024, which introduced updated salaries, allowances, and benefits for officials under the SRC's purview. The SRC's 120th report, which was presented in Parliament in November 2024, received approval from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, who acknowledged the responsibility and the possible backlash of accepting the proposed increases for office holders, including the President, Prime Minister, ministers, parliamentarians, members of the judiciary, senior public servants, and members of the Tobago House of Assembly. These salary adjustments will be retroactive, with the Prime Minister's salary rising from $80,000 to $87,847 starting from October 1, 2023. Additionally, a back payment totaling approximately $1 million before tax will be issued. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, has raised concerns about the significant disparity in childhood cancer treatment across Latin America and the Caribbean. Each year, about 30,000 children and adolescents, 19 and younger, are diagnosed with cancer in the region, with nearly 10,000 losing their lives to the disease. PAHO pointed out that while more than 80% of children with cancer in Northern America are cured, the survival rate in Latin American and the Caribbean countries is much lower, at approximately 55%. This gap is largely attributed to challenges within the healthcare systems, including limited access to affordable and high-quality medicines. The organization stressed the need for urgent improvements in healthcare access and resources to better support children battling cancer in these regions. The statement by PAHO comes as the World Health Organization, WHO, and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital have commenced distribution of critically needed childhood cancer medicines in 2 out of 6 pilot countries and through the Global Platform for Access to Childhood Cancer Medicines. Ecuador is the only country in the Americas involved in the program, where the treatments are expected to reach approximately 5,000 children with cancer across at least 30 hospitals in Mongolia, Uzbekistan, Jordan, Nepal, and Zambia this year. On the international scene, Hamas had said it is committed to implementing the Gaza ceasefire deal with Israel and will continue releasing hostages within the agreed time frame. Following talks in Cairo, the Palestinian armed group said Egyptian and Qatari mediators have confirmed they would remove obstacles to the deal. There was no immediate response from Israel, but Egyptian and Qatari reports said mediators had bridged the gaps between the two sides and both were committed to continue implementation. On Tuesday, Israel said the ceasefire would end if Hamas did not return hostages this Saturday. Hamas had earlier said it was postponing releases over what it claimed were Israeli violations. The group's announcement prompted U.S. President Donald Trump to propose Israel cancel the agreement and let hell break out unless all of the hostages were returned by Saturday. The Italian government has denied using military-grade surveillance technology to illegally spy on journalists and migrant activists, but said it would cooperate with an investigation into digital vulnerabilities after at least 7 Italian cell phones were apparently hacked with spyware. This story first broke on January 31 when Meta's WhatsApp messaging service informed dozens of people across the EU that their devices had been targeted using software from Paragon Solutions, an Israeli cyber technology company. In a statement, WhatsApp said it had disrupted a spyware campaign by Paragon that targeted several users, including journalists and members of civil society. After the Guardian newspaper reported the hacking incident, the Italian government confirmed last Wednesday that at least 7 Italian cell phones were involved and that it had ordered the National Cybersecurity Agency to investigate. Speaking to Parliament's lower chamber on Wednesday, Cabinet Minister Luca Siriani confirmed that the Italian government has long had a contract with Paragon Solutions for intelligence gathering technology that can help fight terrorism and other national security threats. And now for the weather. Present weather is partly cloudy with slight dust haze. Winds are moderate from the northeast at 15 miles per hour. Temperature is 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1.8 to 3.1 meters or 6 to 10 feet. Therefore, a small craft warning remains in effect. The weather forecast for today predicts partly cloudy to cloudy skies with 60% or moderate chance of brief passing showers. Tonight will be partly cloudy to cloudy with skies at 70% or high chance of showers, some of which could be moderate to heavy at times, accompanied by gusty winds. Sunset today will be at about 6:12, sunrise tomorrow morning at about 6:37. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. Grace be to you and peace be multiplied.